Welcome to episode 122 of the Quick Time Event Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Josh, and as always, I am joined by my partner in crime, John.
That's so many episodes.
Quick Time Event is a chance for John and I to get together each and every week. It just so happens to have been 122 weeks to talk about all of the nerdy things that we love. If you like what you hear, you can find us live on twitch.tv/CDRMagnus every Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, or on all of your favorite podcast services all across the internet shortly after the live show ends, including iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, TuneIn, Stitcher, YouTube, and more. This week,
Forget that we're on YouTube.
We are on YouTube. It's been a short week. We podcasted last Thursday. It is Tuesday. Normally you get us on Thursday, but you get us on Tuesday this week because it's Turkey Day on Thursday. It's that stupid holiday that we all celebrate when like 50
US.
people came over on a boat and then repressed all of their sexual urges and ate turkey with some Native Americans. That's the story that we're told.
That's, yeah, I'm not sure if that's 100% what you would hear from both sides of that story, but that's the one that we were told.
Everybody forgets that the Pilgrims were Puritans, and like, can we talk about the Puritans for a second? Not a fun group of people.
Still a thing?
I don't think so.
Are they around?
I don't think so. I think the Puritans, it's funny, the Puritans all kind of died out, I think because they all became some of these, radical religious sects of Christianity that we have in the United States now.
So they got worse.
They got worse, I think. But, we still have like the Shaker. I don't know the Quakers definitely still exist.
Yeah,
the Quakers exist. I don't think the Shakers still do.
Oats.
There's a bunch of weird religions from the early United States, of all weird sects of Christianity. But the Puritans were something special. They're the witches. They're the ones that burned the witches.
Yep.
They also ate some turkey once, and we celebrate them for that. So good job, Puritans, for eating a turkey.
Thanks for your buckle hats.
Thanks for giving me a day off. Actually, 2 days off, sort of.
I mean, capitalism gave you that second day off.
So I work for a public institution, and we take Columbus, I think Friday is Columbus Day, I think. Instead of taking Columbus Day on the day it's intended to be taken, it's either Columbus Day or it's President's Day, one of the two. Because we don't take those holidays on the holiday. We take one of them on Black Friday and one of them on Christmas Eve.
So I'm gonna go ahead and say that on Black Friday it's Columbus Day, because then it is truly the most repressive and darkest of quote unquote holiday weekends.
It's true. Yeah. Yeah, what a week. What a week. Let's celebrate the harvest, and let's just gloss over all of the atrocities. And then, instead of thinking about the atrocities, let's go out and buy giant plasma screen TVs. Wait a minute. Do plasma TVs still exist? I don't know that plasma...
Exist, or are they still made?
Are they still made? I think they're all LCDs and OLEDs, right? Now everybody gets... So. If you want a super expensive TV, you get the OLED TV. I don't know that plasma is still made.
It looks like a lot of them shut down production in 2013, some of them running to like 2016.
So I guess with the advent of 4K, plasma went bye-bye.
Plasma was the one where you would like potentially burn something straight into your screen, right?
Yeah, like if you left a video game on a pause menu long enough, you would have basically an artifact just living on that TV of that pause screen forever.
Yeah.
You would see it when you went into Walmart, and there would be like an old plasma TV that had been there for years, and it showed the exact same graphic, and you could still see it. And it's like, why is this still on display? This is really making me want to buy a plasma screen TV.
Oh, technology.
But now you have the OLEDs. Now you have, I think with the OLED, I know very little about TVs.
Same. I just know that I have one.
I know that I have a Samsung. I think it's the middle range Samsung 4K television. It has HDR, I think Dolby, but maybe it's not. Maybe it's HDR10. I don't know which one's better. I don't know how many hertz the TV is. I'm pretty sure it's 60, which means the 120 frames per second that I'm getting for my PS5 is nothing. I don't see that at all. But I don't really care.
That's the thing. And I think my TV, I don't think it's, I'll have to check, but I don't think it's 4K. But I got it like 4 years ago.
Yeah, that would have been like right on the edge of when 4K started to become a lot more mainstream.
Yeah.
Because I bought a Black Friday TV that was like a 60-inch LED TV from Walmart for, I want to say it was like $500 on Black Friday 2014, I think.
Was it like I'm out of college and have money?
Exactly.
That's what my current TV is. It was hey, I have a paycheck now. I'm not, struggling to get by.
Sure. So
I'm going to buy this nice TV that's on sale for like 55-inch TV for probably, honestly, at that point, it was probably like $350.
Well, that was kind of the thing. It's like it was a big TV. I don't think it was mine at least wasn't a nice TV. And then
mine's decent.
I guess 4 or 5 years later, I guess that I went out and got like a respectable like Samsung television that at least the guy at Best Buy, actually I talked to nobody. I did all the research on my own, but it wasn't like the base model that Walmart was trying to get rid of on Black Friday, basically.
Yeah. I think mine, if I remember right, I don't know. I really should find out what the graphical capability is, especially if I look into getting a next gen console at some point. But I do know it's like a smart TV as well. So it's not the base. It's at least a step up.
Sure.
But I don't know if it would be able to handle what like I would actually use it for in a year's time.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I'm probably not in the market for a TV for at least another, I would say 2 to 3 years. 2 years at the least. I would say maybe even 3 to 4 years.
Sure.
But like at that point, if these consoles are really coming out and being like, we can do 8K, do I wait for 8K? Is that even going to be worth it? Am I going to be able to tell the difference on a 60-inch TV? Because
at that point, you have to have like a fucking 10-foot screen.
I can definitely, it's kind of weird how 4K works, because I can definitely tell the difference on a monitor between, like if I was looking at a 32-inch monitor, I could tell the difference between 1080p on that 4K monitor I could tell the difference between 1080p on that 32-inch monitor and 4K on that same monitor. I could tell the difference there. But if I'm looking at a 60 or 70-inch television, I don't know that I can tell the difference all the time.
That's like the opposite of how it's supposed to work, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Isn't it like the bigger the TV, the more you tell the difference, and the smaller the screen?
And if you put them right next to each other, I'm 100% sure I could pick out the one that's 4K and the one that's not. But like if I was just walking down the Walmart aisle and I saw a TV and somebody was playing the new Spider-Man game on it, I don't know that I'd be able to tell right away.
Yeah.
And the other issue is like with live TV, none of that's in 4K right now. So like when I watch a football game, it's very rare that any football games are ever streamed in 4K or even shot in 4K. Most of them are in 1080. So it's like, what's even the point? Like when
it's all about the 8K, it's all about the video games.
The
8K, right. They're not going to catch up to 8K.
We're not going to get 8K television or like 8K streaming television, like live TV until 2040 probably.
Yeah.
I'll be 50 years old. I don't want to think about that.
And then you won't be able to tell because your eyes will start going.
That's true. Very true.
You'll just want it because of the numbers. You'll say, no, this is the best. I know. I remember.
So this, it's been a short week. Not much in the news this week. We wanted to do a podcast so we didn't miss a week because we have missed a couple weeks over the last month or so, thanks to Extra Life. We're going to talk about Black Friday, some of the deals you can find this week. There's a couple stories about some scalpers, and Phil Spencer did a really long interview with The Verge, and there were a couple cool things that he talked about during that interview, so we'll talk about them here. Until then, though, John, have you played anything?
I had a kind of working weekend, so I really, really tried to play something, but every time I tried, I would have to then go do something, and I just got really frustrated and stopped. But I did literally like maybe halfway through the first mission, I got and played Age of Calamity. And I really want to play it.
You still haven't played
But
it?
not really, no, because yesterday I finished up pretty much every boss in Dark Souls 3. So Dark Souls 3 is minus one boss that's just a huge pain in the dick. Dark Souls 3 is like quote unquote 100% complete in terms of like bosses. Didn't go and get every item because there's no need for that. But yeah, so I can officially say that minus one boss, I've beaten probably every boss in the Dark Souls series.
So of that half of a mission you've played of Age of Calamity, what are you
that
feeling?
Half, love it. It's so fun. It's a good time. It seems like it's gonna be. I don't know how, but it seems like it's gonna be vastly superior to Hyrule Warriors, which like doesn't make sense because it's in theory the same game,
Yeah,
just a
but
different story and different characters. But like it just, I don't know. It feels exciting to play it.
I think that like Hyrule Warriors came out and it's just and you can correct me on this because you're the one that actually played it, but it's just a skinned Musou, right? Like it's not like it's not like that story did anything interesting. It's not like, or like super interesting. It's not like it.
Yeah, the story was very out there. I liked it because I'm a Zelda fan, and there were all these Zelda characters everywhere, and I was like, this is all I need. I don't care if it's good or not. It's got all my people.
But that's because
But
that's
like,
what most Musou games are. They're fan
yeah,
service. It has nothing to do with the actual story usually, or at least that's how it's been in the past. It's always about, you get to play as One Punch Man. You get to play as Saitama. You just go around beat people up because
sure.
that's all he does. Like, there's not supposed to be a grand story, and I think that might be different for the actual Dynasty Warriors games. But at least,
I mean, there was a story.
sure,
There was like it was just very convoluted and not really objectively great.
right. But when you look
It was passable.
when you look at all of the anime adaptation Musou games, like you go and you look at the One Piece anime or the Musou games, and there's a Gintama one, and there's like all of these Musou games that are it's just the same game with different
same thing,
skins,
just slap
basically.
on a different face and
right.
throw on some new taglines.
Historically, these games have not been deep, especially when they're these basically third party like adaptations.
Yeah.
But I think that we're maybe starting to see that change a little bit. And hopefully this is the equivalent of Japan starting to care more about their properties. We saw this happen at the end of the 360 and PS3 generation, where the West was like, okay, you know what? Toy Story 3 is not getting a game. Toy Story 3 doesn't need a game. Finding Dory doesn't need a game. We don't need to make games for these. Like Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man 2, actually that one might have a game, but you know what I'm saying. Like they stopped making movie tie-in games.
Yeah, the traditionally horrible games that were just a 100% cash grab.
And then when they do make games now, like Spider-Man, like the new James Bond game that's being made by the Hitman studio, like they're being treated with actual love and care, like Batman, like Harry Potter. These properties are given like real legitimate treatment, and it's not just going to be a cash grab. Hopefully now with Persona 5 Scramble doing well, and now with Age of Hyrule and some of these other games that are coming out, or Age of Calamity, Hyrule Warriors, hopefully we're seeing Japan start to turn a corner there, so that when we get the next My Hero Academia game or the next whatever game, it's not button mashing nonsense all the time.
That'd be much preferred. I do know that I don't know if it's just for like opening week or what, but they did confirm that Age of Calamity is like already the best-selling Warriors style game that they've made, and it's been out for all of like 5 days.
Yeah, I think I saw somewhere that Nintendo had or Koei Tecmo or Nintendo, whichever one, shipped 3 million copies of the game,
Yeah,
which is
yeah,
significant.
I saw 3 million as well, which I guess is record breaking for this type of a game at least. Big
Yep,
success.
for sure.
It's what you want to see.
Well, you'll have
But yeah, that is going to be my my Wednesday afternoon, Thanksgiving Day, Black Friday, and the accompanying weekend is just probably going to be Age of Calamity.
Do you know how long it is?
Not a clue, and I don't want to look it up because I want everything to be as big of a surprise as it can be. That's why I avoided pretty much anything in regards to this game. The only thing that I couldn't avoid was the little egg. He just took over the internet for a little bit there. At least my side of the internet.
Yeah, I didn't really see too much.
I love him. He's good. He's a good egg. Did you at least see the like opening cutscene with him?
No.
Where he like slow motion action dodges a big old laser blast from a grown-up guardian.
So it's a guardian?
It's so funny. I think so. I think it's a baby guardian.
But it doesn't want to kill anybody.
Well, so this is one thing I couldn't avoid. Should I say it or no?
I mean, is it something you learned in the first mission?
Maybe. I'm only halfway through.
No, I guess that no. It's like, is it a spoiler, or is it something that's like is common knowledge kind of thing?
I mean, I think it's pretty much, it's either heavily implied or basically stated in the first cutscene of the game. But this little egg, because it's a Zelda game, and so we have to do this for a Zelda game, can travel through time.
The time egg.
Yeah. So we'll see how things end up, because at the very start they show you that big old map that's got like all the characters and guardians in like glyph form. Except now the divine beasts are being piloted by 2 champions each. So I don't know how this is all going to play out. They could maybe stop the calamity. I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's gonna be real fun and maybe headachy, depending.
I platinumed Spider-Man on Saturday. Real quick cleanup. All in all, I think I probably put less than 20 hours in that game, maybe a little bit more, maybe 20, 25 hours. So sure. pretty short. If you were to like 100% the game though, probably like 15 to 18 hours, and then an additional 5 or so if you want to replay the story for those trophies. It's definitely worth it. Like the story is so great. Like you care so much about these characters that don't get that much screen time. And I think that this game in particular definitely benefits from some of the Miles Morales properties that have come out recently, especially into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
But
I will 100% watch that over this next couple days off.
Ooh.
Because it keeps on popping up on the Netflix feed, and I'm like, I should watch this, but I'm just eating dinner and then I have to go do something. Like I don't have what is it, an hour and a half?
Yeah, an hour and a half, 2 hours.
I don't have every time I see it, I don't have the time window to commit to it. I have like 30 to 45 minutes, and I'm just like, I don't want to just start this and stop it and start this. This deserves a straight, uninterrupted watch.
Yeah. The game definitely benefits from that movie in particular, and I think also from the original Spider-Man game or Insomniac's original Spider-Man game.
Spider-Man 2?
No, sorry, Insomniac. The Spider-Man, the Marvel Spider-Man that came out in 2018.
Oh, the good Spider-Man that isn't Spider-Man 2.
What?
The good Spider-Man that isn't Spider-Man 2.
It isn't Spider-Man 2.
So the first Spider-Man game that came out for like GameCube.
Sure. Sure. Yes.
Spider-Man 2 was great.
Sure.
Spider-Man 3 did not hear good things about it. Every other Spider-Man since, not great until the 2018 version.
Yes.
So basically, in my world, there are 3 good Spider-Man games.
that
Spider-Man
makes sense.
2.
Now don't count out on the PlayStation 1 Spider-Man 2. I think it was Spider-Man 2 Electro's something or another. That game was pretty good. I remember that one.
Okay. I didn't have a PlayStation 2, so I missed out on that.
That one I think was based off the cartoon series. I think it had the same voice actors as the 90s or maybe the 80s. I don't know when those cartoons were made. Like that X-Men series and the Spider-Man series that were made back in the... I'm guessing they look like 80s cartoons, but I think they aired during the 90s. They definitely did because I watched them. But I think those games on the PS1 were based off of that universe.
Sure.
Not the movie universes. Anyway.
Which, as we discussed, traditionally, very mistreated for game titles.
Yeah. Insomniac's first Spider-Man game was my first entry into Miles as a character, because I had not read Ultimate Spider-Man. I don't read comics really. I was aware of the character, but I didn't really know anything about him. And so my first exposure to him was from Insomniac's Spider-Man game. And it really built him out and fleshed him out, and you saw what his motivation was from there. You can definitely play this game without having played that and be totally okay. I would probably recommend playing that game before playing this. Especially if you just get the Ultimate Edition on PS5. It comes with Spider-Man Remastered. If you've never played it, if you have a PS5, get the Ultimate Edition, play the original Spider-Man, and then play Miles Morales. That's my recommendation anyway. But that first game built an attachment to him, and then Into the Spider-Verse really cemented him, for at least for me, as like a great character. And so I was primed to play this. And I think by now, like... It's kind of weird when you think about some of these superheroes that have different versions. I feel like for a while, Miles kind of flew under the radar, and now he's in a place that's like he's much more common knowledge.
Sure.
Than a lot of other like characters that have done similar things. Yeah. Like when like Sam...
You have like 8 versions of the... not the Flash. Yeah, probably also the Flash, but also I was thinking Green Lantern.
Sure. Yeah, with the Flash, you have Wally West. You have there's different Flashes. There's different Green Lanterns. There's different. There's a bunch.
Arguably,
of characters
there's a couple different Batman.
Yeah, Robins. There's like 5 Robins.
Yeah. What each one does, who knows?
Right, but I feel like Miles Morales right now is probably the most popular. Not first version of a character, if that makes sense. Like he's as the second Spider-Man, he's the most popular of that kind of hero. And it's cool because he's totally different, and it's a much different experience. I really like Miles' power set. It's a really different way to play in a lot of ways. Like in the Insomniac Spider-Man game, or in Marvel Spider-Man, Peter Parker has a lot of like gadgets that he uses.
Yeah.
And then with
that
Miles,
was the big gag back in like the 80s and 90s version. He couldn't just shoot out web. He had to like make the web, and his cartridge thing would get jammed whenever he was falling, like 80% of the time. And it was like, oh no, how will he get out of this one?
Right. And Miles has a couple gadgets, but really he has 2 new powers, which are his I think they call it bioelectricity, I think, that he generates. So he has electricity that he like can use to sting people, that like basically he electrocutes people. And then he also can turn invisible. So like,
what kind of spider bit him?
It's a different spider. Watch Into the Spider-Verse and you'll know. You'll find all this out.
Sneaky spider that came out of a wall outlet. That's the one that fit Miles.
But it really diversifies the gameplay, and it lets you play the game basically in a completely different way. I'm really curious to see what's going to happen now with Spider-Man 2, because it's very clear It's very clear that we're getting a Spider-Man 2, a real Spider-Man 2. From the end of Marvel's Spider-Man, there were like post-credit scenes that kind of gave away the plot, or at least like it gave you a event like a Marvel Cinematic Universe and teaser, kind of like this is what's next. Look forward.
Yeah.
And you actually got another snapshot of that at the end of Miles Morales. So there's clearly another game coming. I'm really curious to see how they're going to handle it. Like, are you going to be able to pick between Peter Parker and Miles Morales?
Spider-Man you are?
Like, are they going to give each one dedicated screen time? Like, how is that going to work? It's going to be interesting to see.
We'll see. Maybe there'll just be 2 Spider-Mans.
So
J.
yes.
Jonah Jameson, eat your heart out.
He's so great too. He has a podcast in the game.
Of course he does.
In both games, he has a podcast, and he yells at his producer constantly. His producer's name is Jared. You feel bad for Jared, but also Jared's kind of an idiot. But yeah, J. Jonah Jameson is great in the game. So yeah, great game there. And then I started Bug Snacks on Sunday.
Hell yeah, game of the year.
I guess it's not what I expected, but the story has taken a wide turn.
Nobody really had expectations going in, right?
I think that, like most
at least
people,
plot-wise.
Yeah, correct. Plot-wise, I don't think anybody understood what was really happening, and I still don't. And I think I'm pretty close to the end of the game. So the gameplay wise, I would describe it as Pokemon Snap, basically. That's not on a rail.
Not a rail shooter,
sure,
kind of thing. Yeah.
So basically what you do is you go out into these areas and you see bug snacks, and then you can take out your little camera and you take a picture of the bug snack, and it'll tell you what the bug snack likes. Like if it likes chocolate, it hates mustard or cheese or whatever. And then you can use,
just like Pokemon,
you can use a variety of like contraptions to trap the bug snacks and catch the bug snacks. You feed them to the Grumpuses, and the Grumpus's body parts start to change based on the bug snacks that you feed them.
Which is horrifying. I would never eat a bug snacks.
No.
If it meant that my arm was going to become something else.
Sure, but there's a few like nefarious things that are happening. So this Grumpus named Elizabeth Megafig, who's basically an explorer.
Yeah, all these names are just somebody went to a 3-year-old and asked them to come up with the longest name they could think of.
Yeah. So she commissioned basically an expedition to Snacktooth Island and brought along a group of 12 most dysfunctional people you will ever meet. They all they don't hate all, like everybody doesn't hate everybody, but all of them have issues with each other. And so they're constantly bickering and fighting, and they do not want to be together in this town that they've created.
The dream team that you want to explore an uninhabited island, really.
Sure. And so you start the game, and Elizabeth and Elizabeth's partner are gone. They vanished. Nobody knows where they went. And so after they leave, there's no leadership in the town anymore, and everybody leaves. So then you have to go out and you have to do tasks to bring the Grumpuses back to the town. And then you start to find some things out. You start to find out that bug snacks are really mysterious. Bug snacks are not something that occur in that world. Normally, they live only on this island. Bug snacks are neither plants nor are they animals. They are something in between, and you can't cook them or else they turn into mush. There's just a lot of weird things happening. There are like weird disappearances. There are like old artifacts and evidence of Grumpuses who once visited Snacktooth Island being killed and like left to die. Wow. And there's a bunch of ships that are wrecked everywhere. There's a lot of mystery and intrigue going on. I'm very close to the end. I think I've brought everyone back to town at this point. There's only a few more main quests left to do. I'm just wrapping up some of the side quests. but it's an interesting game. I think that a lot of people thought it was going to be a meme, and in a lot of ways it is a meme.
Yeah.
But like, it's a legitimate game.
People expected it to be Octodad Part 2.
Sure. It's not that, though. I mean, a lot of that same humor's there. It's basically Muppets that turn into food. It's ridiculous. But there's like a real plot here, and it's like a real mystery, and it's fun. It's fun. It's basically a collectathon. And a lot of it is like a puzzle. That nothing is like super difficult to figure out from the puzzle perspective, but you know, so every now and then you'll encounter a bug snack that you have no idea how to capture, and then like the light goes off, and you're like, oh, that was pretty cool. Yeah, I was able to do that. There are a couple boss fights too of these big bug snacks.
Bug snack boss fight.
I'll spoil one of them. There is a basically a dragon that is made out of it's a big sushi roll.
Oh,
and so it's a big sushi roll, yeah. And it's called a mega. Oh shoot, I forget what it is now. Anyway, what you have to do is you have to break it up into many pieces and then capture the pieces independently before it reforms itself. But that there's
makes sense as sushi.
Sure, there's some cool mechanics here too. So like, not only is it like a funny premise, it has a pretty decent story, and there are some pretty great mechanics in it. Like, this is what
you want out of a game.
Honestly, after playing Bugsnax, if new Pokemon Snap comes out and it's just another rail picture taking game, it's going to be disappointing because Bugsnax would be a better version of Pokemon Snap.
Yeah, I could see that. I hope that I really do hope that they change the format of Pokemon Snap a little bit. Because yeah, after watching you stream it for a little bit, I could see some certain aspects of it being very fun if they were implemented in a Pokemon Snap game.
Right. So yeah, I'm close to the end of Bugsnax. I don't know what I'm gonna do now, because I'm probably going to finish Bugsnax tomorrow. I have 2 weeks until Cyberpunk comes out.
Yeah, probably.
Probably.
There's always that little asterisk next to Cyberpunk.
You know, with CD Projekt Red, you really can't put anything past them.
No. They told people, go ahead, take time off. You'll have this game. Psych.
I don't know where I'm going to go next. I don't want to... The game that I want to play, if I was not limited by time, I think is... I'm feeling right now Yakuza.
Long game.
Don't have time for Yakuza.
No.
Don't have time for Assassin's Creed. I don't know that I want to play Assassin's Creed after
don't
the
have
whole
time,
Watch Dogs thing.
Don't have effort. Don't have desire for Assassin's Creed.
I could always just dedicate myself to Overwatch for 2 weeks. I could do that very easily, and it's probably what I'm going to end up doing. But I think that what I want to do is find another indie game. If anybody has any indie games out there, if anybody's listening to this and has any recommendations,
did you play A Short Hike?
Not yet. That could be a game.
It's pretty short. Like, I mean, no pun intended.
Sure.
But it won't take you that long, and it was very charming.
Okay. Yeah, if anybody...
It's probably one play session, though.
I'll look at that. I'm looking for like a little bit longer. The game that I'm thinking of is The Pathless. I talked about that last week. It's the game with the bird. You're an archer, and it looks Breath of the Wild a little bit.
Yeah.
It's reviewed well.
Once you mentioned it, I looked into it more as well, and I would like to play that too.
So that's what I'm thinking. However, there isn't currently any, like... I haven't seen any guides written for it yet. For trophy guides, and that's a kind of game that I definitely want to read a trophy guide before I play it.
Sure.
Just to know whether or not it's going to be worth it. Like, if there are any missable trophies, like if it's a great game, I'll play the game, and if it has stupid trophies, I'll play the game and not worry about getting the trophies. But if it's like an easier trophy hunting experience, I want to read the guide first before I play it. So
yeah,
if I finish Bugsnax and that still isn't up, then I'll probably try and find something else. So if anybody has any other recommendations of games that I have not played yet this year, that came out this year preferably, but older games too, that maybe take somewhere around 20 hours, I'd love to hear it. taking recommendations.
I still can't quite get past. You mentioned that bug snacks, if you cook them, they turn to goo, so you can't cook them.
Yeah.
So, like, they're eating a living, like, something that's moving.
Sure.
I can't. That's awful.
People do that in real life. You know that, right?
What things do people eat in real life that, like, aren't, killed first?
I mean, people eat, like, there's cultures out there, especially native cultures in places that aren't
I suppose
developed, I guess, that eat insects that maybe aren't cooked. Or
I just can't imagine eating something that's still alive.
you eat some, there's if you're certain, there's certain like Japanese dishes where you kill a squid and the squid's dead, but because of the way squids work,
Still moving,
still moving around. Yeah, the way that squids work.
Here's spoiler alert: I have not had that, and I would probably not enjoy it.
Yeah, I don't think I would eat that either. But I couldn't eat it because I'm allergic. So,
do squids fall in that category?
They do for some reason.
That's weird.
Well, the issue, okay, here they don't, unless, and this is the key part, most restaurants lump it in with shellfish. So
so cross contamination.
Yeah, is very common with squid in particular. Squid and octopus are just something that I can't eat because there's no way for me to guarantee that it hasn't come into contact. And that's true with, like, if I were to buy it like at the grocery store too, unless it was like pre-packaged in a separate facility. But even in those scenarios, usually it's packaged in a facility that also packages shellfish. It's just a whole mess. So
it's got that little warning label, packaged in the same facility as like this kind of nut.
Right. Literally the only way for me to be able to eat a squid probably would be if I caught it myself. And I have no idea how to cook a squid, and I have no desire to learn how to cook a squid. So
that's fair.
I'll just pass.
They're pretty squishy.
Yeah,
I did want to learn that either.
I did enjoy calamari prior to my 2011 discovery of my shellfish allergy. Did enjoy it.
Yeah.
Alas.
Rest in peace.
So let's talk about Black Friday. Black Friday, the scourge of human society, really, is coming up here.
Before we get into this,
okay.
I want it on record. I know we've said it before. Don't go to the store on Black Friday.
Please don't.
If you do some kind of curbside thing. We are in a pandemic. The $20 off that you would save is not worth taking up another ICU bed.
Especially also,
Please.
if you just want the cold hard, the cash version of that. If you live in the United States, is that $20 really worth the millions of dollars in hospital bills that you're going to end up paying if you get hospitalized with COVID-19? No, it's not. So don't do that, please.
I don't understand, and this is a very small COVID tangent, but like, people don't seem to understand that it's not just about you getting sick. It's about, our hospitals not having literally enough beds.
Yeah. Or people working there.
Yeah. So please be safe. Please be smart. If you're going to do some kind of Black Friday shopping, do it very responsibly. Preferably, if possible, get it delivered. The best case scenario is just go for all these digital deals. There's tons of them.
And that's what we're going to be talking about here. I'm not looking at the physical retailer spaces. Every retailer basically has the exact same deals. Best Buy, Walmart, Target, they're all running the same exact deals. So,
and they've all been going for like the entire month because no retailer knows how to deal with being in a pandemic.
No.
They know that having everybody, crash into their store on Friday or like Thursday night at 8:00 is not the best way to do this.
No, not at all. So let's take a look at the major publishers' storefronts. The Steam Autumn Sale has not gone live yet. I think it's supposed to go live tomorrow. So unfortunately, we will not be talking about Steam stuff today.
The granddaddy of them all, really.
Yeah. But we will let's take a look at what PlayStation's offering, what Xbox is offering, and what Nintendo is offering. And then there's a little handy write-up that Polygon did about Amazon deals as well. So we're all looking at digital stuff. Yes. Only.
Things that you can do from the comfort of your home without exposing yourself or others to any kind of COVID-19 risk.
So, John, what I thought we could do is for each of these stores, how we'll start this off is I'll kind of look through, if you can open it up on your side as well.
Yeah, I've got everything but the Nintendo one open. I can open that too, though.
Okay, so what I'll do is I'm going to kind of read through these and just notate the ones that I think are pretty good deals.
Sure.
And then at the end of each section, so for PlayStation, for Xbox, and Nintendo, let's both put together a list of like what we would spend $100 on. Like how to get the best bang for your buck out of $100 on these stores.
Yeah, I totally agree. That is. Now, does that mean, are we doing it personally? Where, like, let me just go right with this example. Both of us own Persona 5 Royal.
Yeah. It's
half off. Neither of us is going to put that on our list because we already own it. Does this $100, is it for us or is it this theoretical list if we didn't own any of these games?
I think it would be both. Like what are you interested in specifically and what would you recommend to people?
Okay.
So it can be one or the other or both, I guess.
Sure.
For me, it's probably mostly going to be recommendations because I've already bought most of the things on here.
Yeah, you have access to almost all of this stuff.
So, yeah. So let's start with the PlayStation Store. First off, I just wanted to mention it's, as always, the price for PlayStation Plus is discounted right now. It's not a great discount. It's 25% off. So for a 12-month subscription to PlayStation Plus, it's $44.99. So it's $15 off. That's still a good deal, but I've seen it lower before. So sure. I would probably hold out. I don't know that I would go ahead and buy that unless your subscription is going to lapse between now and Christmas. I would bet if not around Christmas time, maybe sometime in early January, you'll see another sale come out where it'll be maybe a little bit less than that. Yeah. Like $35 I've seen a lot. And you can find this on like Amazon too, where they'll do like the gift cards discounted.
Yeah. Newegg sometimes does them as well.
Exactly. Yeah. So $45 isn't a bad price. Again, it's a cheap option, but for at least PlayStation Plus, I would maybe wait. Now, PlayStation Now is also 25% off for $45, and that's a 12-month subscription to PlayStation Now as well. If you're somebody that likes PlayStation Now, or if you would get good use out of that service, I think that is a great deal. I don't know that I've ever seen PlayStation Now discounted like that before. So if you are interested in playing a huge back catalog of not only PlayStation 4, but also PlayStation 3 games, I'd definitely take a look at that.
For sure.
Okay, so let's move on to the actual sale page.
Holy hell. I just saw one of the deals. That might be the most percentage off.
Which one? I'm curious.
The Kingdom Hearts all-in-one package is normally $99.99, and it is now $29.99.
Wow. What is that, 80% off?
70% off.
70%
so there's a couple of other things at 70, but like nothing else goes from $100 to 30.
Sure.
It's like, hey, we'll bring it from 30 down to 9.
Yep. Okay, so here we go. Watch Dogs Legion, 33% off. It's $40.19. I would wait. That is not something I would buy at that price. If you haven't already bought Watch Dogs, that's something I would wait on.
Based on your feedback on this game over the last couple weeks, yeah, don't buy it right now. Unless you really love this series.
Sure. Last of Us Part 2 is 50% off. You can get that for $30. Definitely highly recommended for me. Marvel's Avengers is 50% off. I would not recommend that. Ghost of Tsushima is 33% off the $60 version. It's only 20. That's interesting. I guess that makes sense. It's 20 or 30% off the digital deluxe version, which I think only comes with skins. It might come with a soundtrack actually. But
is there a way for me to move that soundtrack to my iTunes library?
Yes, you would need a thumb drive, but you can get it off the PS4 and move it to iTunes.
I do have a thumb drive, so that would be fine. Is the soundtrack worth it?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. $10 for a soundtrack? Sounds good to me.
Spider-Man Game of the Year Edition is $20.
It makes me so upset. And I had the same thing happen last year. It shouldn't make me upset, but it does. Where like all these first-party Sony games from like 2018 are $9.99 at this point on these sales. But for some reason, Spider-Man is always $19.99, and I'm just like, join your brethren.
It's because,
go to the $10 level.
It's because that Game of the Year Edition comes with DLC. It comes with basically four DLC packs, which add probably another 15 hours to the game. And
yeah,
it's all good
packs,
content.
and you could be like, okay, it's $10 to the game, and then $2.50 for each DLC.
Sure,
pack. That's fine.
And they're good DLCs too. They're worth playing. It's not like blow off DLC. It's all pretty good.
Worth it.
Crash Bandicoot 4 is 35% off. You can get that for $38.99. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order is 60% off. You can get that for $24. Can we talk? We'll talk about it next week, but this is a game that got ripped off by the Game Awards. Because it wasn't eligible last year, and it's basically not eligible this year. They like moved the dates where they said, okay, Game of the Year contenders for this year are eligible from like, or last year it was let's just say January 1st to December or maybe like November 15th.
Yeah.
This year it's from November 25th through the following November 25th or whatever.
So there's like a missing week.
Exactly. There's like a missing 2 weeks there, and Jedi Fallen Order came out during those weeks. So it's basically shit out of luck. But don't worry, Among Us, a game that came out 2 years ago, is included on the list. So that's fine.
I really want to know what happened with Among Us.
I think we'll talk about that next week when we talk about Game Awards, because I do want to dig into that a little bit too.
Yeah, because it's not a new game. Like they were gonna make a sequel, and then this exploded, and they were like, "No sequel, just support this one, thank you."
Doom Eternal is 66% off, $19.79. That's a good price for Doom Eternal. Definitely recommend that one. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 Remaster is 30% off. That game is, as I understand, highly praised. So if you liked those old Tony Hawk games, if you didn't like the most recent Tony Hawk games, this is the game for you, as I understand it.
This is the classic Tony Hawk game where you're just dicking around on a skateboard, from what I can tell.
Final Fantasy VII Remake is 33% off. You can get that for $40. Persona 5 Royal is 50% off. You can get that for $30. I've seen Persona 5 Royal cheaper in other places. I think Target, maybe Walmart, it's $19.99. So you can probably save yourself $10 if you can get that. But again, is it worth the $10 off if you get COVID? So maybe check and make sure you can get that digitally, or like buy it online before you do that.
Also, is it, and this is a you and me thing at this point, because I know that there are some people who they just want to line their shelves with physical copies, but isn't it worth spending $10 more to not have one more thing?
True.
If you're trying to declutter. Because it's so easy to just buy all these games physically. Yeah. If they're like, oh, it's $5 cheaper on average, and be like, okay, what are you going to do with these like 13 discs that you have to now keep and their boxes?
It does not spark joy.
No.
Let's see. Up next, Neo 2. That came out this year. That's $25. Star Wars.
Neo and Neo 2, are they good?
Mm-hmm.
I heard mixed things from some friends recently about them.
They reviewed very well. I think that they're much harder than Souls. They're much harder than Dark Souls.
Okay.
So if you're used to playing Dark Souls, it's a different system because there are different stances. So like there's 4 different samurai stances that you have. Mm-hmm. And depending on the enemies you're fighting, you have to switch between those stances. And even like, especially with boss fights, you have to switch between stances during the boss fight to be able to do it well.
Yeah.
So it adds an extra layer of complexity to it. I found it much more difficult than Dark Souls and Bloodborne. So
okay.
I think that there's a difficulty aspect to that. But yeah, Neo 2 reviewed very well. The original Neo did as well. So that is a pretty good deal there. Star Wars Squadrons is 40% off. You can get that for $24. I'm rounding up. I'm not going to say cents because it's stupid.
That is valid. Where the hell did you jump to, though? Are you on a new page?
No.
Why don't I see? Oh, there it is. Okay.
Persona 5 Royal Ultimate Edition is 50% off. You can get that for $50 instead of $99.99.
The hell's the difference?
DLC. And when I say DLC, it's all cosmetic stuff.
Yeah.
I would not recommend that. Don't give Atlas a bunch of money for stupid stuff like skins. Please. Don't encourage them. They don't need any encouragement to do stupid shit like that.
Speak with your wallet. Support them on what they do right.
All right, moving on to page 2. Again, I'm only trying to go through the good prices. Fall Guys is 20% off. It's $16 instead of $20 if you didn't get it with PlayStation Plus. Fall Guys is on sale. Overwatch is at its customary holiday price of $20.
If you somehow missed out on God of War, it's 50% off, $10.
Oh, it is. Yep.
Yeah.
Also, remember that some of these games, like God of War, is on the PlayStation Plus collection. So if you have a PlayStation 5, don't buy that because you haven't. If you have PlayStation Plus.
Yes, this list is very much for people who have a PlayStation 4. I think.
Yeah, there's not going to be very much on sale for a PlayStation 5, if anything at all. Destiny 2 Shadowkeep, which I think is the new one. Is it? I get lost. They need to number the expansions. I think that Shadowkeep is maybe the newest one and it's already 50% off. That can't be right. Regardless, there is a Destiny expansion that is 50% off. It's only $12. So if you want to get caught up on Destiny, this is probably the right time to do it. Moving to the next page, Skyrim. If you still somehow don't own Skyrim,
if you want to buy Skyrim for a 5th time, you can get it for $16.
Yes. Last of Us Remastered is $10. Destiny 2 Forsaken. Yeah, it looks like all the Destiny expansions are on sale. The Witcher 3 is on sale, 70% off. You can get that for $15. Uncharted 4.
That's basically like 10 cents per hour.
Yeah.
Of gameplay. Maybe 5.
Dark Souls Remastered, 50% off. That's $20. Uncharted 4 Thief's End's $10. 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim is $41.99. 30% off. That's a game that I really recommend all of our audience play if you like good stories, if you like science fiction, if you like anime, if you like any combination of those things. That is a game that I'm begging you to play. So you can get that pretty cheap. Kingdom Hearts.
I gotta give a nod to Dying Light personally. Dying Light, I had a lot of fun with, and it's only $11 right now.
That's a great price. Control Ultimate Edition is $20. That is the one that includes the PlayStation 5 version of the game. That had some weird thing where, like, if you had the original Control, you didn't get the PS5 upgrade for free, but if you bought the Ultimate Edition, you did. So if you haven't bought in Control yet, that's probably the best way to get it. Especially if you have a PS5, just buy that version and then play it on PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
John already said the Kingdom Hearts full collection, so that is Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, 3, and then all of the stupid decimal ones like Kingdom Hearts 2.4, whatever the fuck. All of that's included if you want to get
I
down and
like
dirty with the Kingdom Hearts series.
I'm so I just feel like I should, as somebody who's enjoyed playing video games for so long. Like this just feels like something you should try. And this would be a very good entry price if I was certain that I enjoyed it. But when is it okay to just be like, no, I missed out on this and I just have to accept
And
that?
now is the time.
All right.
It's passed us by. I'm gonna try and
Goodbye,
speed up a
Kingdom
little bit
Hearts.
here. I'm not gonna.
Sure.
I'm gonna because we've been going for a while. This is probably not great. I mean, it's not. This is not probably what people want to hear, to be honest.
Dreams is 50% off.
Yeah,
$20.
That's a new game. Especially if you're into content creation, if you like the idea of maybe if you're thinking about becoming a video game developer, that's a great sandbox. And now I think we've reached the point of the sale where it's all garbage.
Yeah, the next couple pages are not very promising.
There's a lot of like deep dives. Like if you want to really dig in here, like I'm scrolling pretty quick, but I saw the Ace Attorney Phoenix Wright collection for 50% off. Wolfenstein, there's a collection you can get. So there's like a lot of older games in here too.
Here's one of the Tales games for $10.
Sure.
50% off.
So let's go back to page 1. And John, how would you spend $100?
How would I spend $100? Let me get back to page 1. Oh God, that's not how I wanted to do this. Deals. There we go. How would I spend $100? So I would get, if you don't have, like if you just acquired a PlayStation 4 for some reason, maybe a friend of yours got a PlayStation 5 and let you have their PlayStation 4, but you don't have any games, I would capitalize for now on the PlayStation Hits games that are $10 a piece. That's kind of what I did last year, and it lasted me for a little while. So that's like your God of War. That would be your The Last of Us Part 1, or The Last of Us just The Last of Us, I guess.
Yeah, remaster.
What else is on this list?
I saw Uncharted 4 was on there.
Yeah. So games like that, if you don't have anything, if you just got access to a PlayStation 4 as your first PlayStation system, that is what I would do. If you have some of those games, but you don't have all of them in the world, I would probably go with, and I got to reload this page because it's being not very nice. Definitely Ghost of Tsushima, because I want to personally play that, and I have not played it. Heard great things, and I don't see it dropping to a low price anytime soon.
It'll eventually make it to like the PlayStation Plus collection, but that'll be 2 or 3 years from now, probably.
Yeah. So let's say that I'm just going with the regular version. So it's $40. So $40 down. If you don't have Persona 5 Royal, definitely get that. Just the base game. Don't get the cosmetic version with all the little costumes. So that's $30. So we're up to $70. So I've got $30 left to spend. For me personally, at that point, I would go with Spider-Man. Just because, well, one, I don't have it, but two, if it is an entire game plus 4 DLCs, you're going to get a lot of bang for your buck there. And what to do with that last $10?
You can cheat a little bit if like there's a $5 something.
Yeah. If you didn't get it already and you don't have access, or you didn't get it for free, I would use that last $10-ish to get Fall Guys.
That's a good
because
one.
I feel like that's going to blow up again over the holidays, just because so many more people have access to it.
Yeah. And so I think
those would be the 4 games that I go with. A decent amount of single player. You got a heck of a game for multiplayer with Fall Guys, and a lot of great stories and seemingly very good gameplay.
Sure. if you're listening to this podcast, I'm going to assume that you lean into the PlayStation camp. If you listen to me blab on about PlayStation or have listened to me do this for 122 weeks, I'm going to assume that you have probably played the PlayStation first party games.
Sure.
So I'm going to pick maybe the games that came out this year. So games that are this like 2020 games that you probably missed because you were either playing a first party game or you were playing maybe something on a different system or something like that.
Sure.
So first up, I'm going to pick Final Fantasy VII Remake. I think that is a game that the Final Fantasy VII hardcore picked up immediately, but I think everybody else that isn't involved or have like any ties to that series is something that they passed over, and it's definitely worth it. So $40 on Final Fantasy VII Remake, well worth it. From there, I would also recommend going to okay, maybe this might be a little bit
riveting.
Harder than I thought. Yeah. I'm gonna go with Doom Eternal. $20 for Doom Eternal.
Good call.
Takes us up to 60.
Really, for Doom Eternal, if you have access to all consoles and a nice gaming PC, go with wherever it's cheapest.
Sure.
Because I don't think your experience is really going to differ.
No, unless, you're particular about your shooter. So if you're a console gamer, then, wherever you play your console it's cheapest. But if you are a PC gamer for shooters, you're going to want to get that on Steam.
Yeah, but if you have no preference, if you play first-person shooters on your PC, but you use a controller, at that point, I don't see it really mattering, assuming your PC is at least as capable of running it as your console would be.
Right. Okay, you know what? I'm not actually seeing as many games. I think that the biggest things are the first-party games that are on sale here.
Sure.
So Ghost of Tsushima and The Last of Us Part 2 and Dreams. I might throw Dreams on there. I'm not going to. That's a really niche game. Dreams is awesome. If you are somebody that's just going to try it out, I would probably not pick it up because it's not, it's something that if you're really into Minecraft, if you dick around in creative mode in Minecraft and build pixel art things and, whatever, I would recommend it for sure. But if you are just a general gamer, I would not.
That makes sense.
It
seems more like a creative suite than a game.
I guess I'm gonna cop out here and go Persona 5 Royal, only because it's more niche. And if you are somebody that really only plays the big blockbuster first party games like Spider-Man, like The Last of Us, like Ghost of Tsushima, because they have name recognition and Sony is pumping the marketing into them, Royal is probably something that you passed over. Unless, I've gotten into your head this last year and a half, 2 years even, on Persona. So I'll go Persona 5 Royal for the last game. So 3 huge games that came out this year for $100. Not bad. And with those 3 games, with Persona 5 Royal, with Final Fantasy VII Remake, and with Doom Eternal, you're looking at almost 200 hours of gameplay. Easy.
Yes.
Without replaying anything.
That is, if you're doing the math at home, 50 cents an hour.
Good deal.
Worth it.
So let's move over to Xbox Game Pass. So here's something that I found interesting, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Let me know on Twitter if I'm wrong on this. I did not see anything with them discounting game like Xbox Live Gold or Game Pass. You get 1 month of Game Pass for $1 if you sign up for a year of Ultimate before the subscription starts to kick in at $15 a month. I don't know that's a Black Friday deal, though. That might just be how they do it.
No, that's all the time. Yeah.
Okay. So I don't think that there are any deals on Xbox Live Gold or Game Pass for the holidays.
I thought I saw some tweeted by Wario, but I don't think they were directly from
I think
Microsoft. They were third-party sales.
Right. I think you can get some of the gift cards at Best Buy, at least for Xbox Live Gold. I don't know about Game Pass. I'm sure that there will be some deal, but least
I think I saw it earlier today. I thought that I saw 3 months of Ultimate, so Gold and Game Pass, I don't know how much it's normally, but I thought it was like $22, which I'm assuming is at least some percentage off.
Sure.
Let's see. What does it usually retail for? Xbox Ultimate 3-month price. So according to the kind of slashed out price, it's normally $45 at third-party retailers. It is now on sale for $22.99 at Best Buy and $29.99 at Target.
Okay.
So essentially, you could get Ultimate for 3 months for half off.
Sure.
But only in 3-month increments.
So if you buy, or is there a limit?
I doubt it.
So if
I
you
guess
bought,
you could just buy 4 for $90.
And I think that Game Pass Ultimate, I think, is at least $120. Well, it's $15, right, per month. So 15 times 12 is a number. It's 120.
Is it? No, it's 180.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. Math.
So yeah, you're getting, if you do it that way,
basically
you're
50%
half
off. Yeah, that's the way I would go.
That's a way to kind of wiggle around the system. I don't know if you can just buy them all and like stack them on your subscription so that they just all stay and you don't have to worry about it running out, or if you have to just buy them and use them one at a time, and then every 3 months you just have to dig out wherever you stored them.
Sure.
But
good point.
Not a bad workaround.
So moving on to Xbox, I'm not going to repeat. Basically, they're all the same deals.
They are, except for obviously first-party studios.
So I'm going to go real quick through the first few pages and only mention some things that I didn't see on PlayStation's page. Right off the bat, I see Destiny 2 Legendary Edition for 15% off, which includes all 3 of the major DLCs, including the one that came out this year, for $70. So if you have not bought Destiny 2, that's probably the cheapest way to get everything right now, for sure. Other than that, I mean, Xbox didn't have any really big first-party launches this year, did they? Did Ori and the Will of the Wisps come out this year?
Yeah, it came out in March, I think.
Okay, so that should probably be on here somewhere.
Should.
Master Chief Collection is $26. That's 35% off.
Looks like Sea of Thieves. Black Friday Special Edition. What the hell does that mean?
It comes with a special chest or something.
It comes with... What? Purchase the digital copy and will receive a number of glorious gifts along with the game.
Oh, wow.
I'm confused. What do you get?
I don't know. However, after a certain point...
You get something.
After a certain point in this Xbox Live sale, it goes from like what I'm assuming are the best sellers to alphabetical order. Around page 3, actually. Like halfway down page 3.
Oh no.
It starts alphabetical order, which is kind of annoying. However, I think that there are like literally every game is on sale.
Yeah, I remember seeing Wario tweet out. He was like, "Hey, Microsoft started their Black Friday sale, and there's like 900 plus titles in this thing."
This is like if you are looking to fill up your back catalog. I don't know that anybody's ever wanting to do that really, but if you are, and you have an Xbox, this is probably a great time.
For sure.
So that's the takeaway I have for this.
You could likely get any game that's come out on any major system that's not an exclusive first party for seemingly, based on the first couple pages that I'm scrolling through, it's looking like most things are at least 50% off.
Yeah, I went to a random page. I happen to be on it's D. You can get Dark Souls Remastered, Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin, and Dark Souls 3, all 3 games for $35.
What's the percentage off?
50% off. Dark Souls Remastered,
75% off. 75% off.
Yeah.
Woof.
So
this is where you want to go for
There are 360 games included in here. If you're looking for old games, man, Xbox is the way to go. That's my takeaway. Yeah. I'm not even going to try and fill up $100 here because again, there's not really that big of a difference for the games that came out this year compared to the PlayStation Store. But if you're looking for older games, like games that are 5+ years old, maybe even 360 games or very early generation games here, there is a very, very wide selection of things to choose from. You could probably spend 4 hours looking through all, it looks like 36 pages here.
Easily. And something that you might want to consider if you are looking at all these titles and you're potentially getting overwhelmed, little piece of advice, write down, start a list. Once you hit game number 10, look and see how many of those games are on Game Pass.
Yeah.
Because there's a very good chance that you could just not even have to make the call at that point and just go order those Target or Best Buy things where you're getting Ultimate for half off. Assuming you can commit over the next year to play those 10 games you were going to buy and have permanent access to.
Sure. So let's now move on to Nintendo's eShop sale. This one will luckily be very quick because there's only a whopping like 30 games on sale for Black Friday.
Good old Nintendo. Although, if you've noticed, and again, please order it online. Don't go in store. GameStop has a couple of their first parties titles on sale for like $26, which is I think a historic low.
Yeah,
like Fire Emblem 3 Houses is I think $26.99 at GameStop.
That's pretty cheap, especially when you look at some of the things we're going to be talking about right here.
Yeah.
So here's the big sale for the Nintendo store. Man, who's playing the original Borderlands game on Switch?
I don't know.
Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, that came out this year, right?
Did it? I thought it was last year.
Maybe it did. I don't remember now. I guess
it's been
No, you're right. You're right. I think it came out pre-pandemic.
I thought it came out in like September of 2019.
I think you're right. Okay, so Link's Awakening is $20
release date
off.
September 20th, 2019. You're never going to get a Zelda title for more than that percentage off. Yeah.
So $40 for Link's Awakening, $40 for Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Hades is $20. That's $5 off. That's probably honestly the best deal that's on here.
Sure.
Mario.
If you like No More Heroes, Travis Strikes Again is half off for only $15.
Super Mario Party's $20 off for $40.
Don't waste your time. You can't play it online. You're not playing it by yourself.
True. Yeah.
I'm not saying that's not a challenge. That is simply I am stating a fact.
Wolfenstein 2: The New Colossus is $30. That is a fucking amazing game. I would never play it on Switch.
Yeah.
Also, you can get it for much cheaper not on Switch.
Ni no Kuni, the first one, the remaster, whatever, for Switch is only $15.
It's not a remaster. It was stupid because they released Ni no Kuni on the Switch the same time they released Ni no Kuni Remastered for PlayStation 4.
Yeah, but the
Switch version was just a port. It was not the remastered version for whatever reason. Yeah. I did not find myself liking that game. I felt like some of the language that they used and some of like the dialogue was a little too old-fashioned.
Did you get it for PlayStation?
Yes. No, I got the Switch version. Yeah.
Oh, damn. I did too. So every couple of years this will happen to me where my eyes are bigger than my stomach, as they say, and I buy too many things, and then it comes back and bites me because last year I bought Ni no Kuni when it was on sale for $30. Like 2 weeks prior, it had come out and it was $60, and I was like, "Oh, half off already? I'm gonna do this." Not sure if I've even opened the cellophane wrap.
Yeah,
could very likely return it at this point.
My thing with Ni no Kuni was, when I say it was old-fashioned, I'm saying it's old-fashioned not from like a gameplay or from like they talked an old-timey talk. I'm talking about like the way they treated like sex. Not sex, like gender was messed up. Not I guess gender's not it. It's like there were definite sexist things happening in that game they seemingly glossed over like very quickly, and like they didn't really care. It was kind of messed up, and it turned me off of it pretty quickly. I don't know whether or not the character in particular that I'm thinking of gets better later on, but
some kind of like long redemption arc.
Sure. I kind of doubt it though.
I don't think you had said this. I know you said Hades is $5 off, which is apparently a very worthwhile endeavor. Bastion and Transistor are both on their ridiculous sale again for $2.99 and $3.99 respectively.
Sure.
Get those games. I'm still not really. I don't know if I'm going to beat Transistor. I'll be honest. I kind of have a falling out with it right now. But Bastion, great time. 100% worth $3.
Coffee Talk is on sale. It's a whole $3 off. You can get it for $9.74. One of the like great surprises of this year, for sure.
Did that come out this year?
Yeah.
That was a fond memory for 2020, and that is a tough sell to like give that title to something.
Right. I think it came out in February. Coffee Talk. Released January 28th, 2020.
I might have to put that on my Game of the Year discussion.
Oh, yeah, definitely on my list.
Yeah, like
so. Yeah,
I didn't realize that it was
probably the one I would recommend.
I didn't realize that it come out this year. I thought that it was an older thing that like maybe came out on Steam 2 years ago, and then kind of like some of these newer Nindies that have been out for a while, but now they're out on Switch.
So if I'm looking at this list here to spend $100. Oh, I didn't see Tokyo Mirage Session. That might actually be something I pick up. Tokyo Mirage Sessions, I don't know what it's supposed to be called. Tokyo Mirage Sessions #FE Encore. That might be a game that I pick up. It's an Atlas game. It's Fire Emblem.
Say no more. Atlas?
Right? It's deal. It's Fire Emblem merged with Atlas. So it's like Persona. It's not Persona, but it's like the ideas of Persona mashed with Fire Emblem characters. So
I see a screenshot and I understand.
Yeah. That game might be one that I actually pick up on this sale. Maybe.
We'll see.
Really the only game that I can like recommend. Like what? I'm not playing Dark Souls Remastered on the Switch. I don't want to break my Switch in half.
You don't play Elder Scrolls 5. You don't play Skyrim. You don't play Diablo 3. You don't play Dark Souls on Switch. The Switch, it's great that they're on it. This is not how those games were meant to be played.
No. Really, the only game on here that I would recommend is Coffee Talk, honestly, and Hades, I guess.
I would recommend Hades and Coffee Talk. Personally, and this is obviously a large bias for anybody who's a longtime listener, I will obviously always recommend a Zelda game if it's on sale. So Link's Awakening, it was a charming remaster. Thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it did the original justice while becoming its own thing. Plus the art style is just so cute. So I would recommend Link's Awakening as well.
Sure. Last one we'll look at here is the Black Friday sale for Amazon. This article comes from Jeff Ramos over at Polygon.com. The best Black Friday.
Another Jeff. Think he's in cahoots with Big Jeff.
One of them for sure. At least one of the Jeffs is involved with this Jeff. The best Black Friday 2020 gaming deals at Amazon. You can get Fire Emblem for $20 off for $40. Link's Awakening is $40 off. Luigi's Mansion 3 is $40 off. Was that a game that came out this year, or was that last year too? That was last year too.
That was last year.
This year really has just been a giant disaster of a blur.
Yeah. It's so bad that it's become one with 2019.
There are a bunch of micro SD cards apparently on sale in case you need more storage for your Switch or
and
whatever other thing uses a micro.
They have some cool like branded ones that are obviously going to be more expensive, but they have some cool branded ones for Nintendo where it's like,
I think I've seen like the Crest of Hyrule and like,
yeah. And then there's the like a Mario Mushroom, a Mario Star. And then the biggest one is the 256 gigabyte one and it's got the Tom Nook Animal Crossing Leaf.
That one's pretty good. It's something that's like branded that you will literally never see.
Yeah.
It lives inside of your system. It's not something
the only way I would consider it is if they let you choose. The thing that pisses me off with them is that the design is locked into the size.
Yeah.
So you can't be like, hey, I want the 256, but I want it to have the Crest of Hyrule. Because I would do that. I would waste that money because I love Zelda. Unfortunately, the Crest of Hyrule is the smallest one at 64 gigabytes. That's not enough room. Not happening.
Yeah.
Let me buy it. Let me buy this stupid cosmetic thing that you're upcharging me at least 100% of the product price in the size I want, please.
For PlayStation 4, you can get Ghost of Tsushima for $20 off. Most of these are the exact same price that you can get on the PSN store.
Yes.
The one that I didn't see on the PlayStation Store was the Nathan Drake collection. That's $10 for 3 games. 100% recommend that. Watch Dogs Legion is also $29.99. I'm pretty sure it was $40 on the PSN, so you can get $10 off if you buy that on Amazon instead.
Or you could save $40 or $30 respectively and just not get it from the sounds of it.
I mean, honestly, I would say, again, if you liked Watch Dogs 1 or Watch Dogs 2, $30 is an appropriate price for that game.
Sure.
I'm just upset because I had my fake currency taken away from me. There are definitely issues with that game, but for $30, it would be worth it for $30. I would say. On Xbox One, you can get Hellblade for $10. That's $20 off. Ori and the Will of the Wisps is $15, which is $15 off. Sea of Thieves Anniversary Edition is $20, which is $30 off. And then Watch Dogs Legion is $30 again.
And one more time, just for those who somehow skipped to this section of the podcast without listening to the earlier sections, it looks like the 5 games listed on the Xbox One, like best deals or whatever, fairly certain that at least 4 of them are on Games with Gold. I know Minecraft Dungeons is, I know Ori is, and I know Sea of Thieves is. I'm not sure about Hellblade, but at this point,
it would be.
I would think it is.
It's a first-party game. Now,
Watch Dogs?
No, that one's not.
Probably not.
4 or 5
could join in like the next couple months, honestly.
Sure. At least 4 out of 5 of those games are definitely on Game Pass.
Yeah. So you could buy them all and have them forever for roughly $60. Or none of them are super long, except for maybe Sea of Thieves or Minecraft Dungeons, since there's not really an end, seemingly. You could just buy Game Pass, which is what Xbox wants you to do.
Yeah. Looks like a bunch of Razer stuff is on sale. There might be some Logitech stuff on sale for PC gaming.
That's something that, like, I don't think you've gotten into it, and I sure as hell haven't gotten into it. When do you cross that threshold of PC gaming where you go from having a nice machine and a nice monitor and display to I need a $100 mouse?
Oh, I've passed that.
Have you?
Oh yeah.
What did that for you? Because I'm using the mouse that came with my PC, which is, I mean, it's a nicer mouse than like what I would normally use. It's got little buttons on the side.
Sure.
And like, it's just a nice mouse, and it's what's the word? Ergonomic. It fits my hand very nicely. My hand doesn't hurt after using it.
For me, it was a combination of streaming and like, this is something that I'm going to use most days. Sure. So I have a Logitech 502 Lightspeed. This is a wireless. This comes with a wired version too. I think the wired version's a little cheaper. It's maybe $50 less. I honestly don't remember what this cost. It might be, I think this is $150.
Okay.
So this is the Logitech Lightspeed 502. This is the wireless version of it. I also have the Logitech. So I've gone the Logitech route. This is the Logitech,
which is seemingly honestly, and this is I hate that this is how I'm going to compare it. It feels like Logitech versus like Razer is the Apple versus PC debate.
There's a
Where like,
few, yeah. Well, Corsair's involved with that too.
true.
And with Corsair, like the reason I didn't go Corsair, honestly, the reason why I went Logitech is because their wireless stuff is quality. Like this wireless keyboard and this wireless mouse, they're very high quality, and I don't see any input lag. I don't see any issues with any of that stuff.
I would consider out of all my PC stuff, a mouse and keyboard, switching them to wireless is the biggest. Well, the next thing I would like to do, just because I don't like all these wires.
Right. So the keyboard, if you're curious, is the G915 with their linear mechanical keys. So you
don't know what that means, but okay.
There's different kind of keys. You can get the clicky keys. Like there's a red key, a blue key, and a green key. I think the green are the clicky clacky keys.
Why would you want those?
They feel kind of good when you're using them. Like they're tactile, but they're loud as shit. Like you don't want it, if you're streaming, that's not the kind you want because they're really loud.
Yeah. You don't want a typewriter.
The linear keys just press straight down, so there's no resistance. Then there's also, I think, the red key, or maybe the red keys are I don't know. There's another one that's tactile where you press it down and there's like a resistance when you get to the bottom of it. So it feels like you're pressing a button, basically, if that makes any sense at all.
Sure.
Like you press it down and there's a little resistance at the bottom of the key press.
Yeah.
So those are the three different keys you can get. But so the reason I went Logitech is because their wireless products are really good. Otherwise, I probably would have went Corsair. I've had Razer products before and I haven't liked them. I really like Elgato though. As a streamer, Elgato they make really good products and they're owned by Corsair. So I like if Corsair had a wireless keyboard, I probably would have went that route instead of Logitech.
Which I can promise they do now, but
no,
whenever
they don't.
you were first, they don't really.
No. This keyboard's pretty new. I bought it not that long ago, but yeah, they don't have a wireless keyboard. They have a wireless mouse, but not a keyboard.
Why?
I don't know.
Why don't they have a wireless keyboard?
Because they're specifically making gaming material, like gaming supplies, basically gaming peripherals.
You are a liar.
Are you
quick
sure?
Google search proved that you are a liar. I don't know if this would be like I assume it's got to be a gaming PC because it's a Corsair. But at least a quick Google search pulled up Corsair K59 RGB wireless keyboard at Walmart for $111.
Does it have a what is that called? A keypad?
It's got G buttons.
No. A key. Does it have a keypad?
A number pad?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I'm on course.
Did I just ruin your?
No. There is that one.
Is it like brand new where it just came out?
Maybe, because I'm looking on Corsair's website right now, and there's only one wireless keyboard that I see, and it doesn't have
a number pad. Yeah, which would bother me as well. That would be a make or break deal for me.
It doesn't matter though. I mean, I'm married to the Logitech stuff now anyway, so I'm not getting out of that. That's true. So I'm fine with it, but that's the reason why I went Logitech, and I'm very happy with this stuff.
I kind of want to get Corsair for the. I hate that this is how my brain works, but I really like their logo. It just looks like ship sales to me. I don't know if that's what it's supposed to be, but I like it, especially after watching One Piece for like 200 episodes.
I think Corsair is sort of it's really weird because Elgato is like the pinnacle of streaming technology. They make the best stuff, but Corsair, like their Corsair, the gaming peripherals, I think might be the lowest quality. Like at least when you compare it to Razer and Logitech. However, it's not like you're going to buy a bad product, probably.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I'm down that hole now.
Yeah, you're committed. You have all Logitech, so you can't really change at this point. I mean, you could, but like, how many things would you need to change?
So you
have two keyboards, right?
No, I guess the other I do have, but that keyboard is just like a throwaway keyboard. That one's not a nice one.
Okay. That's like my
Regardless.
current keyboard. My current keyboard came with the PC. And upgrading from just a laptop, it's tons and tons better, but I should probably look into getting something a little more.
I mean, it's all up to
Nice.
preference, and then it's also like how often do you use it? Like when you play Dark Souls on Steam, right?
Yeah, but I use a controller.
Right, you're using a controller. So like if you're using your mouse and keyboard, I would definitely recommend leveling up. And like the main reason I got it, aside from streaming, is I play a lot of Overwatch. I play way more Overwatch than you play.
But like that's something that I think I would probably notice if I got it.
You definitely will. Yeah. Even like this mouse changed my life because it has the normal ones. Then it also has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 extra keys on it. And so like I have my melee bound to one of those keys. I have my alt bound to one of those keys. And it like totally changed the way that I play the game because everything's mapped differently. Now, if I went and played on somebody else's PC, I'd be borked. But
yeah, that's why I like the mouse that came with my machine because like, sorry for people who are just listening. It's got 2 bonus buttons kind of by the like real buttons, the standard buttons. And then it's got 4 buttons on the side.
Can you change your DPI on that one?
That's a good question. I don't know what that even means.
It's how fast your mouse moves across the screen. You can on this one has dedicated DPI keys, and I use that in Overwatch because there are some heroes I play like Reinhardt and Moira that aren't aim intensive, and so I'll crank up the DPI so the sensitivity is higher.
Spin around real quick,
right? And then when I want to play Zenyatta or McCree or Ana or somebody and that's aim intensive, then I'll lower it, and it only takes a fraction of a second to do that because it's bound to the mouse.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't think I have that ability. If I do, I just never knew. So, anyways, back to the deals.
Sure. I definitely recommend Logitech stuff though. I will simp for Logitech here for Black Friday.
What happened to never using that word on stream again?
I will use it for Logitech. Also Logitech, hey, if you want to sponsor me, let me know. Hit me up in the DMs.
Everybody tweet at Logitech, whatever their official handle is.
All right. So that's it for Black Friday. As you can see, there's lots of stuff available, and you don't even have to leave your house to get it. So please don't leave your house.
Please.
Just a couple of news stories to touch on real quick little news stories here. First one comes by virtue of a long-form interview with Phil Spencer over on The Verge. I highly recommend everybody go and read that article. It is titled Microsoft's Phil Spencer on Launching the New Xbox and the Future of Games, written by Nilay Patel over on The Verge. I think it might have actually been a podcast that was transcribed, but you can read the full thing there on The Verge. It's got some really cool stuff in it. It kind of just drives home like how personable Phil is as just a human being and like how well he knows his audience and like what gamers expect. He is the perfect head for Microsoft here because he is a gamer. It's not like he's one of these people that, you know, like I play video games, wink, wink. Like I watch my son play Mario Party sometimes and that's about it.
Yeah.
He's out there playing games probably most nights if he's not working on stuff, but
he's a big old nerd who just happens to be in charge.
He is. So there's a lot of great content in that. I only want to bring up one piece of it, which is that there may be an Xbox app on your smart TV within the next year.
Interesting.
So
does that mean we will also see the Halo TV series?
Could be. This write-up of that article comes from Polygon.com. So I'm reading Polygon's write-up of The Verge's write-up. Only because I didn't want to dig through that. Polygon did a nice little like packaging of it. I didn't want to dig through everything over on the Verge article.
Sure.
Michael McWhirtor wrote this piece. Playing Xbox games on your TV may not require an Xbox at all soon. Xbox head Phil Spencer tells The Verge that we may see a dedicated Xbox app for smart TVs by next year, one that could stream console games directly to screens using Microsoft's Project X Cloud service. Speaking with The Verge, Spencer said, I think you're going to see an Xbox app for smart TVs in the next 12 months. I don't think anything is going to stop us from doing that. What we used to call a TV was a CRT. That's just throwing an image on the back of a piece of glass that I'm looking at. Now, as you said, a TV is really more of a game console stuffed behind a screen that has an app platform and a Bluetooth stack and a streaming capability. Is it really a TV anymore, or is it just the form and function of a device that we've used to have around our TV, consolidated into one big screen that I'm looking at? Spencer added that the amount of compute capability in my home is increased with the number of streaming signals that have come in, not decreased, concluding, I think gaming will soon be one of those things as well. So essentially there he said that gaming will be streaming. Gaming will be one of those signals. And TVs really aren't TVs anymore. They're just big old computers that are imitating televisions.
Basically, yeah.
So Microsoft's Project xCloud service streams select Xbox games to mobile phones and tablets. Currently, the game streaming service is restricted to Google's Android platform, but a web-based version of xCloud streaming for iOS devices is also in the works. Project xCloud was recently added to the ultimate tier of Microsoft's Xbox Game Pass subscription service. Then he also said that there might be options for some streaming sticks and things like that in the future too, although that might also heavily depend on what those companies are doing, because the big two with Google and with Amazon for their streaming devices also happen to have game streaming services with Stadia and with now Luna. So I don't know that they'll want an Xbox app on those devices to compete with their services, but we'll see what happens here next year, within the next year.
I totally forgot. I saw a Stadia tweet earlier that they have like some new game coming to Stadia soon. And I glanced through the comments and it was either one of two comments. It was either Stadia stupid, please stop doing this, or it was like, it was almost as if the Stadia development team were responding from their private accounts and being like, wow, thanks, Stadia. This is great. I have such a backlog of games to play. Nailed it. Just out of the park. Great job, Stadia. And I was like, who's paying you to say this?
That is not a real person. That is a Russian bot, maybe, or a Google employee, more than likely. Yeah. So xCloud, I think xCloud is available now. It's on Google devices on Android, and it's included with Game Pass Ultimate. So I think they keep calling it xCloud, but at some point it's really just going to become Game Pass. Like it's really just a version of Game Pass that you can play on anything, theoretically.
Yep.
It's really no different than like
it's Game Pass's final form.
Sure. So, yeah, I think that, if it comes out in the next year, I think Stadia has to die. Like Google has to be like, okay, this is not happening.
Yeah.
Right.
Don't worry. If Microsoft is gonna like pay GameStop and also let them have part of their sales on the digital console front, or whatever the hell that deal was where Microsoft seemingly got nothing, I'm sure they'll make some bizarre, just wacko deal with Stadia to be like, hey, we're sorry that your thing didn't work out. We're not obligated to do this, but have 10% of our digital sales.
Just because. A feel good
consolation prize. Here you go. Here's some money.
It's yeah, I mean the thing with xCloud is Microsoft isn't banking on xCloud.
Yeah.
They're banking on Game Pass, which is a totally different thing. But by bundling the streaming service into Game Pass, you have this group of people that now have access to a new medium to try without having to do any other work. Because Google and Amazon have to conquer this insurmountable challenge of getting people to buy into this completely new way to play games. Microsoft doesn't have to do that. They already have those people. They're just like, okay, you know what? You can try this service if you want to. And then you get people starting to use it. And if they have, reliable internet and strong enough internet, it turns out to be a way that they really want to play games. And now you have a base of people using xCloud.
Yeah. And now you know how many resources you need to sustain that population, and you can track its growth and grow the resources as you need them. You're not going out and purchasing God knows how many servers or something to host who knows how many people.
Microsoft really has nailed this whole thing.
Yeah.
Like they Game Pass is by far the golden standard for subscription services and games, without a doubt. And they have positioned themselves, if streaming games is really going to be where the future of games goes, as Phil Spencer kind of indicates he thinks it is, they have positioned themselves to be in the best possible place going forward, because they've already included it in the service. You have it already. If you have Game Pass, you have this thing.
Yeah.
You don't they're not trying to sell it to you. They've already sold it to you, and you don't even know it. So I think it's becoming more and more apparent as time goes on that Phil Spencer has really positioned Microsoft to be in the best possible place.
Yes.
Going forward. I don't think that, traditional gaming is going anywhere anytime soon. PlayStation and Nintendo are still going to exist for many, many years. But at some point in the future, they will also need to change as time goes on,
Yeah. They'll have to adapt.
For sure. Because this isn't going away. This is not only even if consumers don't want to go here right now, this is clearly where the industry is driving everybody to.
And eventually consumers will realize / be forced into it. So
right now they're being dragged kicking and screaming. The only people doing this are people that want to try something new with Google for whatever reason.
Yeah.
But again, Microsoft is going to give it to you for free if you subscribe to this service that millions of people are subscribed to.
You know what's better than all those sale prices we talked about? Free. Free is the magic price to get somebody into something new.
No risk.
On the opposite end of the spectrum, I just wanted to bring this up. Since we talked about all these great deals on all these new games, did you see how much a very old game, but in pristine condition, sold for recently?
No. Wait, maybe?
So you could buy all these brand new games digitally, or even in box if you're so inclined, for I don't know, between $10 and $30 in the next couple days. However, one person just bought at auction for the highest price paid for a video game at auction, a 1990 version of the NES game Super Mario Bros. 3, sold for $156,000.
Why?
Because it's sealed in box with a 9.2 graded scale from one of those companies who does that. And I think it's a variant of some kind that was even rarer. So it's basically mint in box. Let's see. What makes it so expensive is the layout of the packaging.
Okay.
So exceedingly rare sealed copies of the game where the word bros on the left covers Mario's white glove. Collectors have spent years looking for such a version, according to whatever this quote is on videogameschronicles.com.
People need to get their shit together. People need to get their shit together. This does not matter. This is not worth that obscene amount of money.
No, not at all. I just find it funny that you could buy every video game on any sale in the Steam marketplace, on a PlayStation store, on Xbox, and still only spend a fraction of what this person spent on a game that is now 30 years old.
Yeah, that's incredible.
What a world we live in.
Last little news story for the evening. I don't really want to read this full thing. I just kind of want to mention it in passing, but UK-based group Crep Chief Notify.
What?
A UK-based group, Crep, C-R-E-P, Crep Chief Notify.
Just put another E on there. Crepe. Crepe Chief.
They told Business Insider that it's 12 members who I assume all look like that guy in that South Park episode with World of Warcraft.
Uh-huh. We all know what he looks like.
They told Business Insider that its 12 members collectively purchased close to basically close to 3,500 PS5s.
Why?
To resell.
I mean, I know why,
scalp.
but
our developer wrote some this article I'm reading comes from Games Industry Up. James Batchelor wrote it up, but he said this comes from Crep Chief Notify. Our developer wrote some site monitor software, and we tracked the stock of the sites selling hot tubs. Every time they pinged into stock, we would notify our members to buy it all. The groups use the same software to monitor retail sites for Xbox Series X and S and PS5 stock. These assholes bought so many consoles to sell at retail, or to sell on the second hand market.
Aftermarket.
Yeah. In most cases, for more than 100% markups. This is only in the UK. But I guarantee you this is something that's happening everywhere.
Oh, yeah, for sure. These guys just wanted to, I guess, be known for being assholes.
Yeah.
Other people would want that kept private.
Yep.
Congratulations, I guess. It is funny though. It almost feels like a lot of different actual retailers are almost scalping the systems themselves. Did you see the GameFly bundle?
Yeah.
Where it was, you basically had to get the GameFly Pro subscription for 9 months that would cost you $200. So they just marked the entire thing up to, I think, almost $800. And they were like, no, here's the breakdown of the value. You're not paying more. It's like, yeah, no, you're forcing me to buy this thing I don't want. So you are making me pay more. Also, it's your thing.
There are a lot of places doing that. Some of them in much more scummy ways than others. I would say that GameFly subscription is definitely super scummy.
Yes.
But you also see like GameStop. Usually GameStop, all the ones that I've seen recently have been bundles where you're buying an extra controller and usually 2 games. I've seen like Call of Duty and Assassin's Creed. I've seen Spider-Man and some other game, but it's like you're forced to buy these packages instead of just the thing itself.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why they're doing that. Like, they're going to probably sell those things anyway. Most likely.
Yeah.
The consoles 100% are going to be sold either way.
Yeah, without a doubt.
I guess you're like forcing these people to buy, like maybe they weren't going to buy an extra controller from you today. So you're forcing them to buy 1 or 2 extra things from you.
And you're not charging, you're not upcharging, or you're not making them buy something that is, you're not making them buy the thing they want, but then also selling them the thing they don't want, which is your thing.
Right.
You're not selling them John bucks or Josh bucks or whatever it is your thing is. You're selling them the thing they want. You're just selling it in a way that they don't really necessarily need or want at the time.
Right. It just makes it's like an extra step.
Yeah.
that can put this out of reach for somebody. You know, like these are things that are already hard enough to come by.
Yeah.
If you happen to get into the GameStop queue at the right time, and then you end up getting the console, but it has to be this version of the console that's maybe $100 too expensive and you can't afford it now, then you're out of luck again. It's like, it's just
all
one
that
more
time waiting for nothing.
Right. It's just one more barrier to entry for a thing that is already pretty exclusive. So that sucks.
Yeah. Sucks a big old fat one.
And these scalpers really need to, something needs to be done. I know we talked about this weeks ago at this point, but like these stores around big launches like this, when they know this is going to happen, there needs to be precautions taken, at least at the big retailers. Like Best Buy, Amazon, Target, Walmart, they have no excuse for not implementing some sort of second factor authentication or CAPTCHA even. Yeah. Like just get a CAPTCHA. That shouldn't be that hard.
That would stop the sale of 3,500 units to 12 individuals. That's for sure.
So that sucks. I hope that gets remedied here relatively quickly. And I know that both Phil Spencer and Jim Ryan have come out and said they're making consoles as fast as they can. Jim Ryan's come out on several occasions and said literally everything's sold. Everything that has been made has been sold. So they're pumping them out as fast as they can. COVID's not helping anything. Hopefully everybody that's trying to get one of these and be the hero for their son or daughter for Christmas is able to get one. Hopefully no Christmases are ruined because of these 12 terrible people that live in the UK.
12 shadow asses.
Yeah.
It almost makes me like, I don't want this to happen because I know what would happen. It makes me want, on a basic level, for PlayStation to just be like, all those systems that you have are now banned. But I know that desperate parents wouldn't understand what that means and would buy it for their kid. And then Christmas Day comes and they turn it on and they say, hey, why can't I do anything on this? And then it would just be even worse.
Yep. Not good.
Just, okay, PlayStation, install some kind of chip that you can set to melt. All the PlayStations just, they all melted. Enjoy that 3,500 unit. God, they sell for what, $400? $500? I forget now.
Yeah, $399 and $499.
Let's just assume that they're all the high ones. Enjoy that $1.75 million of melted plastic and metal, dickheads.
Oh boy. One last little announcement before we wrap up the end of the show is an update on Extra Life. All of the Extra Life rewards have been distributed by now. People who received physical rewards should receive those in the mail by the end of the week. Digital codes that went out, that all went out the day after Extra Life, so everybody should have those. If you have not gotten your digital code, check your email, check your spam folder. It might be there. And if you don't see it anywhere, let me know. I have the list of the people and which code you should have received, so I have all that. DM me if you have any issues, but all that should be given out. I think that probably the Bob Ross video that we owe everybody, that will come out early next year. I don't think that'll be a 2020 thing.
Okay.
Just based on how much time we have left this year. Like, looking at what's going forward, we have the Game Awards coming up. That's going to be a big thing. And then it's basically after the Game Awards, it's Christmas time. So I don't think that there's really enough time to do that. And it's just like, there's not enough. We just did the other one a month ago now.
Granted, that was done probably
a little too late. We'll probably do that in February or March if I had to guess. Sure. However, starting here soon, I don't know if it's going to be this week or not. Well, not this week. I don't know if it's going to be next week or the week after. But definitely before the end of the year, John and I are going to start our Let's Play series.
Yee.
And I confirmed today, we figured it out. We're going to play Persona 4 Golden. We're going to play a full playthrough of Persona 4 Golden. on the Steam version of Persona 4 Golden. We're going to be doing that Tuesday nights. Does that work?
Should be fine. Let me just double check, and I will make sure and get back to you 100%.
So
I don't see why that wouldn't work, though.
Most likely Tuesday nights. I guess if not Tuesday, then it would probably be Sunday night. But we'll be streaming every Tuesday or Sunday, I guess, if that doesn't work out.
1 day of the week.
1 day a week of Persona 4 until we get through the whole thing. If I had to guess, it's probably going to take us the better part of the year. The game is probably around, if I had to guess, like 90 hours or so. So if we do 4 hours a week, you're looking at 25 to 30 weeks, something like that, depending on, I'm sure there will probably be weeks where we have to miss a week for something.
Yeah.
At some point.
Life will happen.
Yeah. So anyway, full play through Persona 4 Golden coming up here soon. That one definitely will start before the end of the year. But
yeah,
there you go. That's what's on the horizon.
The goal is to have that Let's Play series done before Extra Life next year.
Yes. Which it's definitely doable.
Yeah, 100%.
That'll be available on Twitch, obviously, as we stream it, and then also on YouTube afterwards. Wherever you want to get it. I'm going to try and do some editing for the YouTube versions, like cut out some of the battles that don't matter in between to make the videos a little streamlined, but the full versions will be on Twitch. So if you want to watch us play through the whole thing, Twitch is the best place to find us. Otherwise, YouTube will have a little bit more streamlined.
Probably. Unless we are just comedic gold geniuses during those skippable battles.
It could be. We'll have to figure some stuff out. We're going to have to figure out, I think we're going to have to read for certain characters. We'll each have dedicated characters that we read for throughout the thing.
All right.
But yeah, we're going to try and make it interesting a little bit, maybe with the battles where we'll take certain characters. We'll see how it goes. We're also, I'm not sure how we're going to make the decisions. There's obviously just text-based decisions that we'll have to make every couple of seconds when we're going through some of the social link stuff.
Yeah.
But for major questions as to who we romance and things like that, we might have to put up some polls. Or something.
Or
poll the audience or something like that.
What we could do, at least I think this would be an effective strategy, set up some kind of quote unquote tip jar with all the proceeds going towards next year's Extra Life fund. There's a possibility. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. With that one,
it also depends on chat engagement.
Sure. That's the thing is if no one's going to donate, then we're just going to be stuck. We have no decision. I guess we can't continue with the game because no one donated.
We don't romance anybody. Yeah. We romance ourselves.
Not a bad thing.
Break all their hearts.
Anything else that I missed for this week?
Nah, I think that's it.
All right. Well, I hope everybody goes and enjoys your holiday full of puritanical turkey eating and general self-loathing. Please, please, please don't go shopping on Friday. Please stay in your house.
Also, keep it if you're having people over or going to a family or friend's house. Please keep it small. Keep it safe.
Just be smart.
The safest is to just not. But if for some reason you're going to, I don't know, explode if you don't, just do it responsibly. I feel like we're an alcohol commercial.
We basically are. I need an alcohol after all this.
Yeah.
Thank you for tuning in. It has been our pleasure. This has been episode 122 of the QuickTime Event Podcast. If you like what you heard, you can find us live on twitch.tv/CDRMagnus every Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time and on all of your favorite podcast services, including iTunes, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, YouTube, and more shortly after the live show ends. It's been our pleasure. Again, have a good holiday. Hope you buy some games. Hope you play some games. Just generally relax. And we will see you all next week for the Game Awards prediction episode of the podcast. Probably one of my favorite podcasts of the year.
It's a good one. Are we, I assume, doing the same thing that we typically do, where we predict what we think will win and we predict what we want to win?
Oh, yeah. Also
Okay.
predicting what's going to be announced and how many Google Stadia commercials
True.
there will be.
And did we make a decision? Are we gonna try to do a fun little during the co-stream? Are we gonna try to make a fun little play along game at home for, I don't know, every time we hear the words world premiere?
Yeah, probably. We can talk about that
Okay.
next week too.
All right, sounds good. It'll be a good time.
Yep. Before I forget, one last thing. I want to thank our Extra Life producers who donated $100 at least to our Extra Life 2020 campaign. Thank you for the donations CC23, Mr. Binks, Clasen Painting, Mitchell, Hammond of Texas, Janet, and Jake Reid. Thank you again for those donations. You are our QuickTime event producers for 2020. We thank you for your support, and we will see you all next week.
Bye, you beautiful people.
Goodbye.